So for the next topic, we're going to talk about solving quadratic equations. And so that's why we focused on factoring and complex numbers, because if you're solving quadratic equations, you can get real or imaginary numbers as your solutions. And by doing that, by doing what we did, you can pretty much get to where you need to be in terms of solving these type of equations. So first things first, let's do number one. Oh, by the way, I do want you to try the student practice. Work on it. Maybe post something in discussion and ask if anybody wants to compare work. See if you guys can compare your work that you've done and see if you guys can see if you're doing it the same way, because the chances are if you didn't work together and you have the same answer, it is probably right. So let's get going. 4x squared minus 2x equals 0. We're going to solve this by factoring. First thing we notice, we can factor out a 2x, which leaves us with an x minus 1 equals 0. Well, this is just a number times a number if you plug something in for x. If I plug 1 in for x, this thing becomes 2 and this becomes 0. Oh, well, that means that if I put 1 in, 0 times 2 is 0. Okay, so what we do is we set each part equal to 0 and we solve it. So this is divided by 2, this is x equals 0, add 1, x equals 1. Our solutions are x is equal to 0 and x is equal to 1. Okay, and we have solved this quadratic equation. What this means is if you have a parabola, it hits the graph at 2 points on the x-axis. In this case, at 0 and 1, and so that's probably not the best drawing of this, but it can happen, okay, in the fashion. The next thing we're going to do is we have 2x squared plus 7 equals 4. If we wanted to solve this as a quadratic equation, then we're going to subtract 4. 2x squared plus, this is 7x minus 4 is equal to 0. Okay, now I have it in this form. I'm going to try the snowflake method. Why am I choosing snowflake method? Try to figure that out, and I'll tell you right now. Because this is a 2, and this is the first term's a 2, we use the snowflake method. So it's not a 1, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Negative 8 over 7. We have 2x and 2x. Multiplies to negative 8, adds up to 7. That's going to be 8 and negative 1. We can simplify this. This is 1 over 4. So then this is 2x minus 1 and x plus 4. Okay, and that's equal to 0. So we set each part equal to 0. Notice we're not foiling it. If you foil this, it will give you back the original. So that's why we learned to do that. X plus 4 is equal to 0. We add the 1. 2x is equal to 1. Subtract the 4. X is equal to negative 4. Divide by 2. X is 1/2 or negative 4. Either answer works, and therefore either one solves the quadratic equation. Alright, let's look at another method. We're going to use the square root property. So for this one, we have 3x squared minus 15 is equal to 0. So for this one, we're going to solve for x first. So we're going to add the 15 just like a regular equation. Divide by 3. And square root both sides. Now, when you take the square root of an x squared, you will take both the positive and the negative answers. X equals plus or minus the square root of 5. So what that means is x is equal to the square root of 5 or negative square root of 5, which is not to be confused with square root of 5 and square root of negative 5. It's not this. It's when it's on the outside. This one has 2 real solutions. Okay, let's look at the next one. We actually could have done that another way too. We could have factored out a 3, but since we're doing square root property, we're doing it this way. 9x squared plus 25 is equal to 0. So I'm going to subtract 25.
What's up, Charlie?
we're going to divide by 9. Divide by 9. We have x squared is equal to 25 over 9 negative square root. This is x is equal to plus or minus the square root of 25 negative, well, hold on. Sorry, let's do I times square root of 25 over square root of 9, which is x is equal to plus or minus I 5 over 3, 5/3 I. So that one is taken care of. We'll do the next one. We have x minus 2 in parentheses squared is equal to 6. Take the square root, x minus 2. Yeah, that one. X minus 2.
How do I get on Google?
One separate.
Oh.
Very cool. Okay, sorry about that. So, we have x minus 2 is equal to plus or minus the square root of 6. We add the 2 to both sides. X is equal to 2 plus square root 6, 2 minus square root 6. And that is the square root property. I'll do the rest on the next video.